People lose their minds when the market is going up. We are in a bull market now that the prices have reached new highs, the first crypto bull market's peak. Risks. Okay, so this might be a little harder in the short term. They get rid of all their tokens when the market is down. People tell me I should never do that again because it's the worst thing I've ever done. They buy too much when the market is rising, as well as to really speed things up from 2.5 trillion to 10 trillion to 100 trillion. From that chart, you can see that there will be 1 billion people by the end of 2025, 4,100,000,000 by the end of 2030. That's half the world then. Okay, what does that mean? You could also look at Bitcoin's log line and guess what will happen in the future. You can also see the rate of growth over time, which is an exponential trend. It goes up to about $1 million. This circle lasts for 10 trillion years, maybe 12 or 15 years. The space goes from 2.5 trillion, which is where it is now, to 10 trillion, maybe 12 or 15. Raoul Pal's most recent guesses about how the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency market will move. Here are the latest thoughts from Raoul Pal, CEO of Real Vision. They take us into the world of financial drama and changing market forces. Pal, who is known for being very good at investing, gives us a timely look at Bitcoin, the cryptocurrency market as a whole, and what we can expect in the next few weeks while the economy is unsure. Bitcoin is worth just over $68,500 right now, which is a big increase of over 12% in the last 30 days. Even though money is tight, Bitcoin is still going up, which shows how strong it is and how popular it is becoming as a way to protect against economic instability. Pal talks about different economic signs that point to a continued upward trend for cryptocurrencies. His main point is that inflation, interest rates, and monetary policies are some of the big economic forces that are pushing investors toward alternative assets like Bitcoin. Surge in a parabola. Pal thinks that crypto prices will go through a huge jump caused by more institutions using cryptocurrencies, better technology, and more people realizing that cryptocurrencies can be used as a way to keep value and make investments. A big reason for the expected price rise is that institutional buyers are still pouring money into the crypto market. The market is becoming more stable and liquid thanks to big investments and the release of cryptocurrency exchange-traded funds ETFs. New developments in the blockchain field, like scalability solutions and decentralized finance DeFi platforms, are making cryptocurrency more useful and appealing, which is helping them go up even more. More and more people see Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies as safe havens in a world where the economy is unclear due to things like geopolitical tensions and volatile financial markets. This idea is driving demand and adding to the good mood in the market. Raoul Pal's most recent statements are good news for Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency market as a whole. Because of how Bitcoin has been doing lately and the things that are making it grow, the market seems ready for a possible steep surge. Pal's views on the changing opportunities in the crypto space are helpful for investors trying to make sense of the complicated financial world. I now have 140 grand. Is that even enough to put down on a house? Is that money saved for retirement? I get it. Thus, people really want to take more risks, but they need to be smart about it. That's the right way to mess this up. Because if you lose $10,000 in every crypto cycle, which a huge number of people did, you know that the NFT cycle destroyed a lot of people and all the pretty early stage speculation destroyed a lot of people as well. It's not like any of us are better because we all have pockets of shame. The pockets of shame are something we all have. Also, don't use advantage like the other person did. People also love getting a return. I don't get it. That means returns come with risks. There is a risk with them. When you stake yields, it usually means that you've locked it up if you're not liquid staking. If it's liquid staking, there's a chance that Lido or someone else's platform will fail or something will happen, right? Something out of the blue. And something strange always happens in crypto. Based on the fact that the asset has a 70% fluctuation, it is likely that you will lose control of your coins. One of your jobs is to keep your coins from getting lost. That's the reason storage is so important. One thing you need to do is keep your coins close. For that 5 or 10 year bet, keep it. You will always be grateful that you did. In 2013, I bought Bitcoin for $200. It reached 1,000. After that, it fell 87%. I had a long-term view though. I'm like, okay, it's a choice, what the heck? It wasn't a huge job, but it was good enough. I didn't look at it for a while. I paid attention, but I didn't stress about the PL because the bet keeps going over time. It's a choice. And finally, I sold out by accident in 2017. It was 2,500 when things were getting crazy. I was up 10,000 12 times what it was before. I remember the Bitcoin wars. I wasn't sure what was going on. It was also important to me to be too smart. So I made money. I thought, yeah, I guess I'm George Soros after all. I just made a 10x, which is great. Within 6 months, it went up by a further 10 times. In other words, nobody remembers 2017. They're still hurt from the last run. Well, 2017 was crazy because it was the end of that run. It went from 2,000 to 20,000, then dropped 85% more. After COVID, I didn't get back in until the sell-off. That was my light. I went back in. I traded well. Bought everything that was down 50% and then locked and loaded. I got a much bigger position than the first time and have been in it ever since. I knew I shouldn't have done what I did and went back. I turned around and asked, is it possible that I just stayed where I was? I did 5 times better than anyone else. Then I asked myself, what would happen if I did what I was supposed to do, meaning I would double the first bet, which wasn't too big that it couldn't be done. Just make that twice as big. Just put that same amount in between 40% and 60% of the low. You're giving yourself time. I'm not saying you'll hit the low, but you have 40% of room to get around it. That's money being spread out over time during a bear market. Because that adds up, I'd have done 25 times better. That taught me a harsh lesson. You've seen me post pictures of how crypto is being used before. That's why we use live wallets. We know they're being counted twice, but we're using IP addresses which are also counted twice to compare it to. Okay then, it gives you a general idea. 520 to 550 million wallets are out there and being used. AI has just beat the science side of my working thesis. So this is the fastest uptake of any asset class or technology that the world has ever seen. This is because Microsoft and other companies can put it in place anywhere right away. Is it huge because it's an asset and AI isn't an asset? From that chart, you can see that there will be 1 billion people by the end of 2025 and 4 billion by the end of 2030. That's half the world then. Okay, what does that mean? You could also look at Bitcoin's log line and guess what will happen in the future. You can also see the rate of growth over time, which is an exponential trend. It goes up to about $1 million. Because of this, the space goes from 2.5 trillion, which is where it is now, to 10 trillion, maybe 12 trillion, or 15 trillion, based on how the cycles work. Then there's 100 trillion, which is the size of most other asset groups, like stocks. In other words, the sale is the change from 2.5 trillion to 10 trillion to 100 trillion. Along with that, that is also the fastest and biggest way to get rich.